Funnily enough, I'm Amber, and I am Franny's matron of honor. That just means I'm married and old. But our entire story revolves around Ashley. So Franny and I met senior year of high school. I'm the odd duck. I didn't go to Vestal. I went to a neighboring high school called Johnson City. And a program senior year combined a bunch of nerdy seniors who had a passion for medicine. And our story also begins with a name tag because you shouldn't give me that. That's dangerous. But it begins with a name tag because all these random seniors, including Olivia Fiaschi, Colin's wife, were sitting around and we were looking at one lonely name tag that just said Franny. And as you can imagine, I was the nicest of 17-year-old girls. And I looked at the girl next to me and I was like, oh God, who is Franny gonna be? And right on cue, this beautiful 17-year-old girl walked in and I looked like a total jerk. Sorry, Big Fran. But the entire year, unfortunately, I thought that Fran and I wouldn't be friends. If you were to tell me 10 years later, I would look at my realtor and say, this house is 15 minutes from Franny. I can't buy this. It has to be within 10. I have to be within a 10-minute drive of Franny and Michael. I would have never picked Franny. I probably would have picked any other girl in the room because I thought Franny and I were way too different. I watched a movie, Dumpling, on Netflix. I totally recommend. It said that the best of friends have everything in common and absolutely nothing at all. And I thought Franny and I had nothing at all in common. I thought I was way too wild at 17 and way too outspoken. And Franny was way too sweet and way too naive. Good work, gallants. But it turns out we ended up at the same college together. And as you guys can all understand, I really liked Ashley Fancher. Oh my God, I was like, who is this girl? Let me book all my classes with her. I want to spend every minute with Ashley Fancher. We both like biochemistry. Wow, we're really not cool. Thank God God made us pretty. And so they're a package deal. They've been swinging from microwave since the age of 10, 7, 8. Very small, very awkward. And I attached myself to them, and I never thought I would be lucky enough that they would welcome me really into their inner circle. And once I gave Franny the chance, and I think she gave me the chance back because she will not admit it. Mrs. G raised her to never not say nice things. But Franny definitely thought I was outspoken and wild and not an appropriate choice of friendship that first year. But it turns out we were inseparable and we've had our lives' greatest adventures together. We lived in different states 90% of our friendship. Yeah, one time we called our parents to pick us up from a random state, but we don't need to talk about that. But we visited each other and we welcomed each other into our folds. And I went to high school with my husband, but sometimes I run into people from high school and I'm really sorry, Kyle, but they asked me how Franny's doing first. It's very common. Everyone from Johnson City knows Franny, and they're all very heavily invested in how she's doing. But you are my favorite human, and despite our differences, you're the only human I would buy a house 5 minutes from. And on that same note, I wasn't so convinced Mike was the one. I was like, Mike is a Danik. Danik's like jorts, and he wears a mullet. And they break things. Danik boys, they break things. Mostly bones. Sorry, Sean. And Danik's rehab 1992 Hondas. Mostly many at a time in their front lawn. Have anybody been there? And I don't know if y'all really know the G's, but the G's have cleaning products for surfaces I didn't know existed. Like, I recently learned what stainless steel cleaner is, and oh my God, my fridge is so pretty. Franny came over and she was like, this is dirty, you have to fix it. And she loaned me something and now it's beautiful. And Gallants, they have the best organization system. They have like racks of things and tubs of things, and they're so clean. And they wax their perfectly new black dealership cars in the driveway when Mr. G was younger 4 times a year, now 2. But either way, it's amazing. I recently also bought a relatively new black car and got the special spray because I'm trying to be a gallant. But either way, I never thought they'd work. But in the same ways that Franny and I work because we bring out the best things in each other. Mike and I bring out the best things in each other. And I don't know if you saw that video when they walked in, but Franny's vacation or out of town when she learned that Mike and her were going to go on a date. She was visiting me and my husband in DC for 2 weeks, which was fun and exhausting. But she was so awkward the whole time and worried about going on a date with Mike. And I'm like, Franny, you and Mike have been talking 90% of college and occasionally kissing, and I don't know why you're so afraid. You guys are not going to run out of things to talk about. Everybody who's ever been around you knows you're in love. And that's how everything's been. And there are no other two humans that Kyle and I would buy a house from if we couldn't be near family, or people that we want to raise our kids by and do pizza oven nights and start our Easter traditions. You two are it. In all your weirdness and differentness, you make Mike a cleaner human being. And thank God the jorts and the mullets did not make an occasion today. And the most important thing I've ever seen from Mike is you are living, and you live your life when you're with Mike. You've called me in moments that I've been explicitly told I cannot discuss, and done things that made you feel alive and made you feel in love, and he makes you feel beautiful. And that's all I ever want from my best friend, who is my family. And I love you both, and I'm so happy. And thank you, Mr. and Mrs. G, for the endless hours of planning. Everything you've done is beautiful, and we can all tell how much work it is. And Jay and Pam, oh, you are the only two who could have raised a man quite as wonderful as Mike. But I love you both. Let's all raise our glasses to Mike and Fran. I don't rap.